4.7 seconds. 5.6 seconds.
It's a one of a kind, only in the DTM.
Yes, man, you did it.
Thank you, guys.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah!
Hello and welcome to the Lausitzring here in Germany. It's the second race weekend of the DTM season 2015 and I'm here with the championship leader Edo MORTARA. Edo, it looks really good, especially starting here at the Lausitzring, starting from P3. That sounds very promising.
It is. I mean, we had a pretty strong qualifying this morning. I mean, beginning of the afternoon, sorry. And we were actually not expecting that with the performance weight that we had in the car. I was expecting actually a tough qualifying for us and for the Audis in general. But we managed to qualify actually quite in the front, and it looks very promising actually for the race.
The DTM in the Lausitz region and the second race weekend of the year. Audi have dominated so far, with Jamie Green winning the first race and Matthias Ekström winning the second. There are two races each weekend this season. Edoardo MORTARA leads the drivers' standings. Now, Mercedes traditionally do well in the Lausitz, with 11 victories in the past 14 years. Pascal WEHRLEIN won here last season. And Gary PAFFETT is aiming to build on an incredible drive in Hockenheim. He came third after starting right at the back. And VIETORIS and Robert WICKENS tipped to do well too. BMW have yet to recapture last year's form. Apart from champion Marco WITTMANN, who will be on the pace? And for race 3, here comes the starting grid. Front row, Miguel MOLINA and Jamie Green with that Audi lockout. Audi domination continues with Edoardo MORTARA and Matthias Ekström on the next row of the grid. Then we see the Mercedes on the next row. Pascal WEHRLEIN, victor here last year, P5, and Robert WICKENS alongside in P6. Winner in Moscow, Maxime MARTIN goes from P7, with new to the DTM, Tom GLOCK alongside him. Paul de RESTA is P9, then it is Timo GLOCK, P10. Marco WITTMANN, the champion, a lowly P11, and Antonio Felix da Costa alongside him, P12. Daniel JUNCADELLA goes from P13 with Mike ROCKENFELLER, P14 in his Schaeffler Audi. Then it's Bruno SPENGLER and Nico Müller on the next row of the grid. Martin TOMCZYK will go from P17 and Timo GLOCK, P18. Then we see two Mercedes together, Christian VIETORIS, P19, and Lucas Auer, P20. Maximilian Goetz, P21, with Gary PAFFETT, P22. And on the last row, it's Augusto FARFUS and Adrian Tombay. It's a near Audi lockout at the top of the timing screens. Audi's quickest in free practice and also hot in qualifying. Pole position for race 1 on Saturday evening goes to Miguel MOLINA.
You were in pole quite a few times, you know that feeling, but you haven't won yet. Do you think your luck is going to change today? Do you think you're going to get your first victory?
You always have to hope, and you always have to believe on it. So that's the aim today, and I will work really. I will fight to my first victory.
P2 is Jamie Green, winner of the first race of the season and posted the second best time. He's got a bit of a cold and has lost his voice, but still feels totally at home in his Audi and aims to build on his strong showing last time out. Edo MORTARA is satisfied too. He'll start from third behind Jamie Green. Going really well for us at Audi, just like it did at the opener in Hockenheim. I was held up by traffic in Sector 3, but it was still enough for third, and in the heaviest car too, he said. Matthias Ekström makes it an Audi quartet at the front of the grid. It means that the two winners from Hockenheim and the championship leader are also out front at the Lausitzring. So, a bit of an all-Audi affair thus far, but let's look at P5. Because Pascal WEHRLEIN is the first non-Audi driver on the grid. He'll push his Mercedes-AMG C63 DTM 2015 as hard as he can to try and break Audi's stranglehold. And, of course, replicate his success from last year here. P6 is the Canadian Robert WICKENS, and we can see him. And I wonder what the Mercedes strategy is going to be all about today. Well, Verena is with the head of Mercedes DTM, Uli Fritz.
Last year, Pascal WEHRLEIN won here. Even though the best Mercedes is starting in P5, are you optimistic to continue with this success?
I think we have seen a very, very strong performance by Audi, so it will be difficult to come from P5 to the very front of the race. But, you know, we don't know about the weather, so everything can happen, but it will be for sure be difficult.
I'm pretty sure about that, but looking up into the skies, are you kind of hoping for rain? Because we know Pascal is strong in the rain.
Yeah, of course, I think rain always helps to gamble a bit with the strategy. But to be honest, we do not really believe that it will be a strong rain here, so I think we have to do it by ourselves.
Maybe so. P7, Maxime Martin, the best BMW man on the grid. BMW have made a disappointing start this season and have got work to do if they're to maintain their excellence from 2014. We have to go to P11 to find Marco WITTMANN, and both he and Augusto FARFUS were penalised for breaches of the regulations in the first quali session of the Lausitzring. Both impeded faster drivers and prevented them achieving potentially better places on the grid. So both dropped 5 places on the grid for Saturday's race. WITTMANN starts from P11, FARFUS from the back row. I wonder what BMW's strategy is going to be for this race. Well, let's find out more now with the BMW boss, Jens Marquardt.
What is BMW struggling with, perhaps?
Well, it's really related to the new format, obviously. I mean, we only have 20 minutes in qualifying, really short, and somehow we struggle this year to get the tire really to work within these short runs. And yeah, it's long run pace is really good, race pace is good, was good in Hockenheim, was good here yesterday. But this combination of really short performance for qualifying and then long run performance, somehow the combination we don't get yet sorted out. We've done a lot in winter testing, but somehow now with the races, it's a struggle for us. But nevertheless, DRS is now 3 times per lap available, 40 minutes to go, and we push forward and see.
Thank you, Mr. Marquardt. Okay, the tension builds in each of the garages. Hans-Jürgen Abt for Audi. And there is Jens Marquardt for BMW. And to the very left of your picture is Uli Fritz from Mercedes-Benz. This track notorious for not offering too much grip. And away we go. Jamie Green starts from the dirtier side of the track and does indeed suffer grip problems. No change in the places at the head of the field. Molina has only made the podium once. He came second a year ago in Budapest and also finished third after a previous pole with 2 B8 finishes. Wickens starts well and almost takes 4th, but then loses 2 places. Maxime Martin all over the back of Pascal WEHRLEIN, trying to find a way through. Lucas Auer on a move as well. And there you can see Maxime Martin's move alongside Robert Wickens. He's up to being alongside Edoardo MORTARA.
Okay, Jamie, we're still on it. I'll keep you updated.
So Jamie Green's team radio is cold, has affected his voice, making communication more difficult, but we understand he has a problem. His DRS isn't working. He's battling away to defend P2 in slow-mo. The Audis are in a league of their own at the front, but not all their cars are in perfect shape, as you can see. Nico Müller being squeezed out onto the grass there, and this is Augusto FARFUS. Let's get his team radio.
We stop. There's too much damage to the splitter. Splitter's on the floor.
Well, that is a shame, the end of Augusto Farfus's race. And here we can see in slow-mo just a very slight coming together with Paul de Resta, but it broke the front splitter, and you can see debris coming off the Augusto Farfus car into the paddock, and his race is done. So the Dalek-like Jamie Green lacking his voice then, who has Edoardo MORTARA for company and Matthias Ekström not far behind either. And Jamie Green, we do understand that the DRS as well as his voice are not working.
Repeat, please.
So he will be really struggling to defend and attack. Pascal WEHRLEIN is the best placed Mercedes-Benz so far, having passed Robert Wickens, as you can see there. That elevates Pascal WEHRLEIN up to P6 now. A lap earlier, he'd got past Tom Blomqvist. Let's take a look at the overtake, though, on Robert Wickens in slow-mo. Not too much of a problem there for Pascal WEHRLEIN. Nico Müller in strife once again, though, as he spins this time. We've already seen him on the dirt. A drift special tyre smoke there. Bruno Spengler on board. You can see how little that the drivers can actually see of the track. Spengler stuck in P12. Tom Blomqvist, the son of rally legend Stig. And Tom also has some loose experience, as you can see as well, as he tries to guide that BMW through the gravel and back out onto the track, which he does with success. Well done, Tom Blomqvist, back out on track after that little off. This is Daniel Juncadella with a huge lockup as he tries to get the better of the champion through turn one. He'll run wide, and Marco Wittmann will retake that place. Valiant effort by Juncadella, but it didn't work. And it's difficult to get that turn one exactly right. But this is Mike Rockenfeller on Bruno Spengler, who does it very well. The champions head-to-head. Spengler doesn't have the performance and power he'd like and cannot match the Audi pace. It's looking bleak for BMW again. P9 to 14 occupied by 5 former DTM champions. This in replay, it's Spengler passing Wittmann. The champion doesn't have the speed. He's 2 seconds per lap slower than the leaders. We're on board with Bruno as he makes that pass over Marco Wittmann into turn one. One of the few passing places here at the Lausitzring as Jamie Green lines up car number 17 ahead of him. And this into turn one without any DRS assist. Jamie Green goes into the lead. Just looked like Molina didn't even know that Green was coming. More distorted radio noise from Jamie Green, and this is Edoardo MORTARA, the focus on his eyes on the splitter cam as he lines up the Molina car ahead of him. And again, same place, turn one, but Molina fights back. Edo MORTARA, though, does squeeze him out and manages to go through the S-complex and make that overtake. This is Jamie Green leading, Edo MORTARA second.
You can use DRS crossing start finish first time. Crossing start finish first time.
So Miguel being advised he can use DRS not only for attack but also for defence, and he's going to need it now as Matthias Ekström lines him up. This once again into turn one, and Matthias Ekström with a perfect move. Agonising for Molina then, who will lose out on a podium once again. So the turn after the start-finish straight's where it's all happening. The Mercedes mechanics have something to cheer as WEHRLEIN now lines up Maxime Martin for a move at turn one. And is the best non-Audi going to be a Mercedes or a BMW? Here comes Pascal WEHRLEIN. And he, like others before him, executes a perfect overtake through turn one here at the Lausitzring. So Maxime Martin gets relegated and Pascal WEHRLEIN goes through. It is the penultimate lap. Robert Wickens goes through and Timo Scheider tries to do the same as well. Martin is slower than at the start and desperately trying to defend his position here. He's the only BMW in the points in P7.
Last lap, last lap.
Jamie Green being advised it is the last lap. Confirmation of that on the screen. And Jamie Green has one more lap to complete. And Timo Scheider looks to complete this as Maxime Martin tries to cover off that inside line. It's a long way around the outside. He'll try and get him on the switchback here. He's nearly alongside Maxime Martin, but not close enough. Martin defends again. And he continues to stick his elbows out to try and prevent Timo Scheider from finding a way past him. So there you can see Wickens up the road now, and Maxime Martin with Timo Scheider. His rearview mirror is full of the black Audi, but overtaking opportunities here at the Lausitzring are few and far between. Scheider's last hope will come out of the final turn as they rejoin the oval and head towards the timing line, but they prepare the P1 for Jamie Green, who is towards the end of his last lap now. Non-DRS, non-voice to talk to the team. He's back out onto the oval off the final turn. Jamie Green.
That was a fantastic race and the best birthday present I ever had. Thanks a lot. Well done, well done.
Arno Zenzen celebrating his birthday with a win.
Yes! Thank you, Jamie. Slow in lap and pick up rubber, please. Fantastic job.
So Jamie Green with 2 wins this season. There is the birthday boy, Arno Zenzen, very happy with his driver, Jamie Green, doing a great job for him as we can see him doing donuts there in celebration. Great stuff from the Brit, Jamie Green. So 2 victories in 3 races for Jamie is the king of the Norris Ring, becoming the king of the Lausitzring. Well, another race to find out if he can do so. As he continues his celebrations, here is the result in full. It's Green, Mortara, Ekstrom, Molina. Top 4 places, Audi. Before we see Mercedes with WEHRLEIN and WICKENS, P5 and P6, and the best BMW. Maxime Martin held on to that P7 from the hard-charging Timo GLOCK. Celebrating his birthday, Arno Zenzen, what a present for him. He's with Verena now.
Now, congratulations, what a fantastic race. But can you just explain to me why you waited so long to attack Miguel MOLINA? Was that tactic, or did you perhaps have a problem with the DRS?
No, it was not tactic. The DRS was not working right from the beginning. And that was a fantastic race you have done without DRS. It was beautiful.
So in other words, he overtook without DRS and he was flying?
Yes, he did. The lap times in the end was incredible. It was fantastic.
So Green, in the form of his life, a thoughtful and contemplative driver, a perfectionist, and now the championship leader. The mark with the 4 rings takes the first 4 places, and the Ingolstadt-based teams have the DTM firmly in their grasp. The winner is Jamie Green, and despite problems with his voice and the DRS, he's with Verena now.
Jamie Green, congratulations. That was quite a fight, and as we heard, your DRS didn't work, and yet you were on the fly and you just raced into victory.
Yeah, firstly, I've learned one thing this weekend, that you don't need to talk much to be quick, because I lost my voice the last couple of days, so I haven't been talking too much, so I sound a bit strange, but yeah, to win without DRS, to be able to be the quickest, was quite a surprise. Obviously, Edo behind had DRS, I didn't. It worked when I went to the grid, but then during the race it just wouldn't work, and so I was getting pretty angry because I was stuck behind Miguel and he was slower and struggling a bit for grip, and in the end I just had to go for it at turn 1.
Great to hear from Jamie Green as Josef Meyer, the managing partner of the Lausitzring, presents Edoardo Mortara with his trophy up there on the podium, and there's some slow-mos of Edoardo Mortara's car. He's got plenty to smile about, despite being overtaken in the standings by Jamie Green. The gap, though, is just 2 points.
Congratulations, that was a tough fight. 2nd place, happy?
Yeah, happy. I mean, I was not expecting that here in Lausitzring. It's not my favorite place, and I never had really good results here. So to finish with the 2nd place today, it's fantastic.
Well, the noise from the Audi engineers beneath the podium is very, very enthusiastic indeed. 3rd place for Matthias Ekstrom after Apache 2014. He seems to be in tremendous form this year. Let's hear from him now.
Eki, you're shivering a little bit. I guess you're soaking wet, so it's pretty cold up here, but congratulations. How does it feel up on the podium?
Yeah, it's always nice to be on the podium, but still winning is what we're aiming for. But today I think Jamie was just a bit faster. With Ed and myself, I think it was close, but then you know when it's also close, and then while passing Miguel it all spread the field a bit, so then it was more a walk in the park to the finish.
Audi dominating the championship standings, 50, 48 and 40 points for Green, Mortara and Ekstrom, before we see Pascal WEHRLEIN in P4 for Mercedes-Benz. Two races every weekend for DTM, and here comes the starting grid for race 4. Jamie Green on pole, Matthias Ekstrom alongside him. The Audi domination continues back on row 2 with Timo GLOCK and Miguel MOLINA. Then we see Maxime Martin and Edoardo Mortara, P5 and P6. Augusto FARFUS, P7. Nico Muller runs from P8. Mike ROCKENFELLER and Daniel JUNCADELLA go from P9 and 10. Gary PAFFETT, P11. Tom Blomqvist, new to DTM, P12. Then we see Pascal WEHRLEIN and Christian VIETORIS, 2 Mercedes-Benz on that row. Then it's Robert WICKENS and the champion, Marco Wittmann, a lowly P16. Antonio Felix da Costa has Bruno Spengler for company on the next row of the grid. Then we see Luca Sauer and Adrian Tombe, P19 and P20. Timo GLOCK and Paul di Resta P21, P22, and the final row of the grid goes the way of Martin TOMCZYK and Maximilian Goertz. A track temperature of some 25 degrees. It's warm, but not too hot in the Lausitz region. A crowd, though, of 60,000 in total for this race weekend of the Lausitzring. Let's take a look at some of the drivers in the grid then. P22 as we go to the back is Paul di Resta. The Brit finds himself at the wrong end of the grid. Former Formula One star, of course, Paul di Resta. And both Mercedes and BMW really seem to be struggling in comparison to the pace that Audi have here at the Lausitzring. Next up, it's Timo GLOCK, of course, another ex-Formula One star, and he was propelled into Formula One by the single-seater team iSport. And Richard Selwyn is here this weekend, and seeing how his former charge is doing, Timo GLOCK, sadly, only P21 on the grid. Up next, P16 we go to find Marco Wittmann, the champion. Now, of course, at this very circuit last year, such was Marco Wittmann's dominance, he won the championship with 2 rounds still to go. What a difference a year makes. Marco Wittmann going from P16 in the Ice Watch BMW. Then we see Pascal WEHRLEIN, who was actually victorious here in this race last year at the Lausitzring as P13. He started race 1 from P5, finished in the same position. He is further back today, though. Our pole sitter is yesterday's victor.
Jamie, you seem really relaxed. Anyway, you had a fantastic race yesterday, an amazing qualifying today, half a second ahead of everyone. And I guess since you're going to the race leading, you don't even have to worry about DRS.
Well, hopefully I'll hold that position into turn 1 and then I don't need it. But the start's always a bit of a unknown, so you know, can't take that for granted. But as I showed yesterday, I can still win if I'm not in the lead at the first lap, so it should be a good race.
And we're very glad you got your voice back.
Yeah, I think the team are too, because then they can talk to me a bit more.
It's P10 for Daniel Juncadella. Mercedes perhaps the biggest losers today, as Daniel Juncadella is the best placed Mercedes-Benz driver in P10. It is a beautiful sunny day at the Lausitzring, and Mike Rockenfeller with his shades on. There he is, the Schaeffler Audi RS5 DTM will be going from P9. He just about made it into the points yesterday with 9th place as he prepares himself in the car. We continue our look down the grid, and P8 is Nico Müller. Now in the race, we saw him in the wars a bit, and he actually achieved P20 in the end, which was rather lowly. And a better result perhaps looks on the cards today for Nico Müller as he runs from P8. Reasonable qualifying from Nico Müller. P7 is Augusto FARFUS. Now he was penalised 5 places on Saturday, and therefore P7 for Augusto FARFUS promises a whole lot more. This is Edoardo MORTARA. He will be going from P6 on the grid today. And there is his car. The Castrol Edge livery, which was on Augusto Farfus's BMW last year, is on Edoardo MORTARA's Audi for this year. He was second yesterday. Starts from the 3rd row. And he's already in the zone before the start. Best of the BMWs, it's P5, Maxime Martin, winner in Moscow last year. He has the best chance of breaking up the Audi dominance. Martin, P5, and as I mentioned, his maiden DTM win came in Moscow in 2014, and DTM, of course, visiting the Moscow Raceway once again this year. P4 for Molina, in very good form. He only managed 4th place after starting Saturday's race from pole. We'll see what he can do from P4 on the grid, as we're allowed to look into the car and see him there, imagining the track with his eyes closed, thinking about every single move that he will make to try and improve on performance from yesterday. Timo Scheider, it's 4 years since he last won, and after qualifying, the former champion pleased. It's good to be back up with the leaders again, he said. Timo Scheider, in the Autosport all-black Audi, will go from P3. P2 It's Matthias Ekström. Ekström is satisfied with his starting position as well. It certainly wasn't the best lap of my life, he said, so I can easily live with P2. It's a long race. Of course, of the two races, Sunday's race is the longer one. Anything can happen. Audi have 7 drivers in the top 10. Ekström last one at the Lausitzring in 2004. P1 though, man in a rich vein of form is Jamie Green. Saturday's winner starts Sunday's race from pole. Jamie Green posted a fastest qualifying of 1:17.386. That's more than 5/10 quicker than Matthias Ekström. The Brit appears untouchable at the moment, but he's by no means complacent about today's race. He said, it's a long race compared to yesterday. We've got 60 minutes of pit stop. I'm feeling good and I think I have every chance. Well, Ekström is going to seize the lead from Jamie Green into turn 1 because he has the inside line and he squeezes Jamie Green out. Timo Scheider right alongside Molina, Maxime Martin in there as well. Edoardo MORTARA tries to get to the outside of Scheider, but it doesn't quite work. So it is Matthias Ekström that leads from Jamie Green, and Molina is P3 with Timo Scheider P4, Edoardo MORTARA P5 as they return onto the original oval here at the Lausitzring before they dart left to the infield section. Marco Wittmann and Robert Wickens dicing together. And there you can see the huge crowd. And let's take a look at a replay of the start then. Well, Green was okay away. Scheider made a good start, but Matthias Ekström was just going to cover that inside line, which was going to give him the advantage going into the turn 1. You can see Maxime Martin trying to dive around the it was effectively the outside, but it was never going to work. And there you can see how Jamie Green and Matthias Ekström, both from the same manufacturer, of course. And Jamie having to yield. And Timo Scheider right up alongside Molina. There was Martin, and you can see better how wide Martin ran in his quest to try and move up the order. So great to see that all in replay. Now this, taken from a different angle. There's Molina, there's Scheider. Molina has the advantage, Scheider has to yield, and Maxime Martin is out on the grass. In the Audi garage, Mr. Jürgen Pippig on the left-hand side applauds his driver's charge. And here we see the leader, Matthias Ekström, then it's Jamie Green, then it's Molina, who is P3. Now, was that aero coming off of Mortara's car? So we watch Daniel Juncadellla, Mike Rockenfeller, and Gary Paffett, and...
Is there any damage?
Team radio, Marco Wittmann.
I think so.
Out on the gravel after an incident with Robert Wickens.
Car looks okay on TV, so stay out for the moment, stay out.
So car looking okay on TV. Marco Wittmann rejoins. Matthias Ekström leads from Jamie Green and Molina. Here is the incident again in replay. Wow. Yeah, that was a bit of a nudge there, wasn't it, from Robert Wickens on Marco Wittmann, who ends up in the gravel. Good to see that again in replay as he slides his way through the stones.
For sure, we are not the strongest at the moment. We had only Maxime who were scoring for us. And now we need to analyze this and to be stronger back at Norrisring.
So some honesty from Marco Wittmann as we see the retirement of Tom Blomqvist. Incidentally, Robert Wickens been warned by the stewards about that incident on Wittmann. And now... we see, is this retirement from Gary Paffett? Clearly gearbox issues. Look, you can see his hand on the paddle there. DRS deployed by Jamie Green. Now, you see the rear wing drop down as he puts a move on Matthias Ekström. This for the lead of the race. However, turn 1 is difficult. And he carries too much speed. Now, this is where Matthias Ekström re-seizes the place because he maintains committed through that S section. That puts him in the best place, and Arno Zenzen looks on as their two drivers battle together as Jamie Green lines up another go. Don't think he'll make the same mistake twice. No, he doesn't. He is able to carry the speed and, more importantly, carry that line through the S's, and Jamie Green goes into the lead, overtaking Matthias Ekström. This race 2 in the DTM at the Lausitzring, now being led by the race 1 winner. Ecky's going to take his mandatory pit stop first.
Gap 2.1, Ecky boxes, push.
So every lap needs to be a quali lap from Jamie Green now. Here comes Matthias Ekström. Now, of course, he will leave the pit lane on fresher rubber and will be hoping to make up tenths on Jamie Green. Needs a perfect pit stop from the crew. We run the clock. 3.2, we've known quicker, to be honest. Mattias Ekström makes his way back out on track. So he maintains his position over Molina, but hasn't made up the tenths he wanted on Jamie Green.
Box this lap, box.
So Jamie Green in for his stop now. As we watch the number 53 car, the race leader, Jamie Green. And again, his team going to need to do an absolutely perfect pit stop for Jamie Green to get him back out ahead of Mattias Ekström. Jamie Green going to be on fresh rubber following the pit stop. Down the pit lane he comes now. There is Mattias Ekström. And we throw up in graphics where Green is along the pit lane, where Ekström is on the circuit. Now, if the team execute a perfect pit stop, Jamie should be absolutely fine. Let's watch it in full then. As he runs down the pit lane, the lights are flashing. The team are aware of the fact that he is just seconds away. The anxiety, the tension, the pressure, the stress on these guys now. Let's run the clock. It's quicker and better than Ekström's stop. It's just 2.7.
Okay, there's a couple of cars which still haven't pitted. You're fighting with TOMCZYK next to you now.
So he is out ahead of Ekström, which truthfully was never really in doubt. And he has the cushion of Martin TOMCZYK as well, as we watch Timo Scheider with a DRS assist on Molina. But Scheider, like Jamie Green in his rehearsal for the move on Ekström, didn't quite get it right, ran too much speed through that turn one, and Molina is able to get the place back. Timo Scheider, I'm sure, will have another go at that in due course.
Okay, Timo, now MOLINA is with that DRS window.
Okay, Pascal, you have a lot of grass, watch for your water temperature, watch for your water temperature, please. You might have a block of air going through the radiator, so please watch for your water.
Well, we saw in replay there why Pascal WEHRLEIN was collecting grass in the front of his car. And from the team radio, what problems that can cause. He was basically nerfed out there, wasn't he, by Antonio Felix da Costa. Pascal WEHRLEIN able to keep the momentum going, though. And continues this battle with Antonio Felix da Costa as he dives up the inside now. He's got Augusto FARFUS. It's going to be Mercedes meet in the middle of a BMW sandwich there. And having had the benefit of seeing that in replay, I'm not sure whether it was Felix da Costa's fault or whether it was Pascal's who tried to just cut across the front of Antonio Felix da Costa. I'd like to see that again, but let's focus on this now as Augusto FARFUS and Marco Wittmann are together, and Paul di Resta trying to get past Augusto now. So there is Paul di Resta, clearly superior to the BMW of Augusto FARFUS.
I saw some smoke on the main straight.
So in replay, there is the problem from earlier, some contact between Augusto FARFUS and Max Goertz, and you can see the splitter being broken there in that contact.
Okay, Timo, 20 minutes to go, and you're always better than the other two on sector 3.
So Timo Scheider being motivated. Unfortunately, the retirement, though, looms of Augusto FARFUS as we see his car being pushed back into the garage. The Shell BMW M4 DTM retires.
Well, I had a splitter damage, contact with Goertz, which is a shame because he was not fighting for any position. They left him there just to disturb and to ruin the race of the rest of the field. Of course, it's part of the game, but it's really against the sport. I'm really disappointed the way it went because he was completely offsetted. He was just there for the reason to slow the rest of the field. He did a great job, but it also finished my race with this contact. So it is a shame that people go that far on the strategy, and they, it's like if you play soccer and the first minute you say we have to hit the best guy that he doesn't score. So I'm very disappointed in that respect. We didn't have the pace anyhow. but maybe 1 or 2 points could have been possible today, and it just didn't happen.
So we're on lap 33, and this is Wickens then in the gravel after locking up under braking. And we can see it in replay, clatters across the grass and then into the stones of the gravel for Rob Wickens.
Times, Miguel, good lap times. Only advantage is on start-finish for Scheider.
So we hear the team radio from MOLINA as we watch once again another replay for Robert Wickens. He's able to rejoin in P20. In the meantime, this is Pascal WEHRLEIN, who's not hampered by his little excursion onto the grass as he gets past Timo GLOCK now. Pascal WEHRLEIN, of course, also reserve F1 drivers. We see Marco Wittmann there across the curbs and on the grass. There's Lucas Auer following him. The distinctive livery of the Lucas Auer car there. And he goes for a trip out into the gravel as well, just carries too much speed. The back end steps out, and Lucas Auer is in the gravel with a huge slide there, which that camera picks up even better. So Lucas Auer, now that's where that is on the track, is going to cause problems. Indeed so, as the safety car is deployed towards the back end of this race. Lucas Auer's car is rescued by the snatch truck. Jamie Green's lead.
5 laps to go, 5 laps.
With 5 laps left to run, as we hear from the team radio. And Matthias Ekstrom right on him now, so Jamie Green is going to stick his elbows out and make that Audi as wide as possible as Christian VIETORIS and Nico Müller get together there further down the order. Then it's Adrian Tombe and Bruno Spengler and Mike ROCKENFELLER. We see them all through the S section there, but it's Jamie Green who's got to try and recreate that lead that he had prior to the safety car to confirm his position. Now, the reason he's weaving there is not necessarily for tyre temperature, but to break the toe that Matthias Ekstrom could benefit from. What he needs to do is make sure that he can build a big enough gap so that Ekstrom is not in the DRS window. So it's Green, Ekstrom, MOLINA. They cross the timing line. Edoardo MORTARA is being lined up by Daniel JUNCADELLA, and Christian VIETORIS goes through on Maxime Martin.
It was a difficult weekend. I mean, coming from Hockenheim with a very strong car performance, coming to our track where we always have been successful and fast. Obviously, we aimed high. Friday and Saturday, we were clearly off pace, basically, mainly because of setup. We haven't got it right. Over Saturday to Sunday, we changed the car more or less completely. Good teamwork by the guys. Great effort from the engineers. Today the car was much better than yesterday, so we could gain positions. Very good race car. Had some nice fights with the BMW guys as well with the Audi guys, and everything was fair, and I just enjoyed myself.
Good to hear from Christian VIETORIS. And there is Daniel JUNCADELLA hounding Edoardo MORTARA. MORTARA really having to defend now. As P1, P2, P3 all cross the timing line. You can see how close Daniel JUNCADELLA is to Edoardo MORTARA. MORTARA really in defense mode. Off of turn 1 through this S section before they rejoin the original part of the tri-oval here at Rockingham. Timo Scheider P4, Edo MORTARA P5. And this is Bruno Spengler behind Nico Müller. Adrian Tombe to the outside. There's a lock-up, and Tombe is clattered off into the gravel. Spengler gets a drive through for that. No points for him. Let's hear from him now.
During the race, I came back. I made my way until to P11. I overtook Adrien Tombe, touched him a bit. Unfortunately, he spun. It was, from my opinion, a bit of a race incident. I got a punishment for that. So, you know, it would have been a point. But anyway, you know, I had to try something to overtake him to get the point.
And this is Jamie Green then, who has done what he needed to do.
Last lap, and we are out of DRS range.
Last lap, one more lap, one more lap.
And by saying done what he needs to do, that's get out of that DRS window as Danny JUNCADELLA is going to dive to the inside, but that line is blocked by Edoardo MORTARA. It's a long way around the outside. MORTARA and JUNCADELLA together. But Edoardo MORTARA, who has one more lap of defence. from the hard-charging Danny Juncadella, who himself is under pressure now from Christian VIETORIS, and also Maxime Martin. Side by side, the Mercedes and BMW there. That big, unforgiving concrete wall. On team radio then, he pushed me off the track. That's not fair. Let's take a look at the incident again in replay. Before we hear from the wronged Daniel Juncadella.
Actually, it was with Mortara in the last lap. I had the DRS and he decided to defend completely on the inside, and I just went for the outside. I braked later than him, and I haven't seen the video, but to me it looked like he turned into me and decided not to give me any room, which for me makes no sense, to be honest, because the next corner is on the inside, and even if I'm side by side, he has the better chance for the next corner. So yeah, it was not 100% fair from him, but still, you know, it's P6, P5, it's not a big difference. But yeah, I had the chance, I went for it, it didn't work, and yeah, we'll see.
Well, we're hearing it from Daniel Juncadella, but this is the master, the maestro at work here at the Lausitzring. It's going to be 2 out of 2 for Jamie Green. He will become not only the king of the Norris Ring, but the king of this circuit as well, the Lausitzring, as he takes win number 2 this weekend, Jamie Green.
Thank you, Jamie, thank you. Well done.
Arno Zenzen happy once again.
Fantastic job, Jamie, again, thank you very much.
5 Audis heading the classification, even better than on Saturday. A perfect weekend for Green, Audi, Arno Zenzen and his mechanics. It's Green's 11th DTM victory.
Copy, boys. Well done. Good team. So, good job all weekend. 2 wins.
So Jamie Green then on his slowing down lap, the Hoffman Group Audi RS5 DTM, and that is a superb slow-mo then as the delight is felt along the pit lane. A dominant performance from Audi. Let's hear from Audi's Dieter Gas now.
Yeah, truly a phenomenal result, Dieter Gas. That is absolutely amazing. Another triple victory for Audi and another win for Jamie Green. I mean, how happy could you possibly be?
Yeah, it's really incredible. I mean, this weekend, fantastic. Hockenheim was very good. This week was just fantastic. There's no other words for that. The guys did an excellent job. We were a bit scared coming here with the performance weights in our cars. But, I mean, we got everything together, and contrary to last year where we had a competitive car and somehow just didn't get the most out of it, this time really everything went perfectly. The drivers behaved. We had a nice fight between Matthias and Jamie in the beginning, but all was fair and square as we want to see in motor racing, so really super, super happy.
Super, super happy. Here's the result in full then. Green, Ekstrom, Molina, Scheider, Mortara. Top 5, all Audis. Then we see Juncadella and VIETORIS. Maxime Martin, the best BMW in P8 place. So let's have a word now from this man in the Mercedes and the best placed Mercedes driver, Danny Juncadella.
I think the pace was really strong towards the end. I was catching the guys in front of the Audis, and the pace was matching somewhere in between Matthias and Miguel, and that's, you know, that's good enough for a podium result. And unfortunately we were starting a bit far behind because qualifying was so close, and we were probably a bit unlucky with that, but yeah, really happy with everything.
Best Mercedes driver then, Daniel Juncadella. Best BMW driver, this man, Maxime Martin, who is with Verena now.
For me it's a good weekend for sure, but we are quite far off in front. From Audi especially, for sure Mercedes, we can compete against them, even if on a decent race or race distance it's difficult, but yeah, I think, yeah, personally it's a good weekend.
Maxime Martin then, as we look at the second page of the results. Man that really does deserve his podium is with Verena now, and that is Miguel MOLINA.
So Miguel, finally you're on the podium. Yesterday you were fighting so hard and now 3rd place. Are you happy?
Yeah, for sure. I'm really happy. I think we did a good weekend in general. We knew that this racetrack was not so positive for us in the past, but at the end Audi did a really good job, and also today we were really strong. And personally I'm really happy to score my first podium here in Lausitzring. And that makes me really happy, and for sure we'll have to continue in this level for the championship.
And talking of the championship, here it is. Green is the clear leader on 75 points. Mortara and Ekstrom joint second on 58. MOLINA now has 27 points and is moving up. WEHRLEIN is fourth. We continue our conversations with our drivers on the podium. Up next, it's Mattias Ekstrom, and he's with Verena now.
Congratulations to a very well-deserved second place. However, you were fighting so hard. You had Jamie just once, but then unfortunately you lost the lead again, and yet you were fighting so strong. Are you happy with the second place?
I mean, second is better than way back, for sure. We were going for the victory, but struggled a bit with the tires. They were getting a bit too hot in the first stint, and then I couldn't really keep the pace of him. And then, unfortunately, when one guy behind has DRS, the next lap you fight for your life to stay in the DRS, on which I couldn't manage. So actually was afterwards a little boring. Then after the pit stop, I got new tires, new life, caught up, and then again they got a bit too hot, and yeah, so not too much to do. He was the man of the weekend. Audi were the dominator. I'm still a little bit shocked about the general Audi performance. We have been struggling here since about 15 years, and suddenly us dominating the place.
Well, that's for sure. Thank you, Mattias Ekstrom, as we see the podium celebrations. And the Henkel Trocken is sprayed with some enthusiasm for Jamie Green, who has had a simply brilliant weekend here at the Lausitzring. From here, of course, we go to a very different circuit. The street circuit of the Norrisring is the next on the calendar for the DTM 2015, the all-new DTM 2015, with 2 races per weekend, providing maximum excitement, maximum entertainment. Let's hear from the man that has taken 2 out of 2 this weekend. It's Jamie Green.
Woohoo, the man of the weekend, Jamie Green. That is just absolutely unbelievable. You lost the lead just once by Eki, you caught it right back, but then during safety phase, did you get a little nervous?
Yeah, I've had so many safety cars when I'm in the lead. It's just a joke, you know, last year and this year. So, you know, I had like, I don't know, nearly 3 seconds lead. And then the safety car comes out and you're like, oh, great, thanks a lot. You know, it took me about 45 minutes to build up that gap, and then you lose it all straight away. So, but no, it was good. The car was really good again. Mattias gave me a good run for my money, as I should expect from him. So yeah, it was a hard-fought win today, and I had to overtake him and obviously build a gap and get out of the DRS window, which I did. And yeah, not an easy race, but all the more satisfying.
And yet for the spectators, I'm sure it looked pretty easy the way you were just up front. But anyway, you are Mr. Norrisring, and in 4 weeks we've got Norrisring. So I guess, you know, you're really, really fast, plus it's your favorite racetrack. So you excited?
Yeah, but at the same time, we're going to have a lot of weight in our car now because we get success ballast and we've won a lot of races so far. So we're going to be the heaviest car there, and it's going to be tough.
And yet you had the heaviest car here and you flew by. So anyway, I'm pretty sure you're going to do well. Congratulations, do celebrate tonight. And now here are the highlights of the day.